Good morning from Jonesboro, Arkansas. 7:50 a.m. The date is, let me see, the 20th of July, 2023. I'm at Fletcher Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Jonesboro, Arkansas, getting a free charge. And today's topic is it worth giving your customers free electricity for their electric cars to get them on your property if you are a business? And I think most times it is. Right now I'm getting 5.9 kilowatts. If I sit here for an hour, that's basically 6 kilowatt hours. But it would probably slow down a little bit because the battery would be getting closer to full. It's already 71%, but let's say it didn't. That would be about 70 cents worth of electricity in an hour with residential rates. I've heard commercial properties get charged more. I don't know that's true, but I don't know that it's not. But if it cost a business 70 cents to $1 for electricity for an electric car for a customer to get them on the property, I say most businesses, that's a good deal. I really think that. Let's say I owned Runnin' Joe's Sandwich Shop over by the university. And if I could get a customer to maybe go there instead of somewhere else, and it cost me for the 30 minutes that they are there, 50 cents. I would call that a bargain. If I owned Fink's Car Lot, used cars, if a customer shows up to get a free charge, they're not interested in buying a car, they're there for an hour, it costs me $1, I'd pay it. I'd pay $1 for the average person to show up on my lot and spend an hour there, even though 9 times out of 10 I'd probably get nothing for it. Maybe even 95 times out of 100. But what if they seen something they wanted? What if they didn't know they wanted a new car? Especially the way people trade nowadays. I have a friend of mine. I think it's worth the $1 an hour to get a customer on your property if you're a commercial business, at least for 90% of the customers, 90% of the businesses. There may be some where it's not worth it. There may be some where, like a dental office, maybe. A dental office, I mean, you don't choose a dentist because they have free car charging usually. And you don't go unless you just have to go. And it's not like you're going to pull up and plug in, then realize, while I'm here, I might as well go and have an exam. No, they're probably not going to get any extra money from you. I probably still would if I was a dentist, just because I'd want to. And that's just something I'd like to provide to the public. But, yeah, what do you think? Is it worth most businesses paying for the electricity for free charging? Of course, there is more to account for than just the cost of electricity. You have to account for the installation cost of the equipment. Now, my house is very cheap, but when dealing with commercial property, by law, you have to hire an electrician. And I bet they gouge you. But anyway, probably a couple $1,000s. You have to take that into account too. Sonic Drive-In. The next video we're going to do, I better go around. You can get in there, but then it's hard to get into a stall because the other side of the building is just a drive-through pretty much. And a couple of spots for vehicles pulling trailers. If I was the CEO of Target, I'd already have in place a plan to have every single location, every one. Even if it was ones out in some place where they had no electric cars, I would just want every single location to have electric car chargers. Whether I would charge or not, I don't know. I'd run the analysis and see. Very possibly. Very possibly. There's one place where this would not work. Sonic Drive-In. And I'm going to do a whole other video on that here soon while I'm sitting in a Sonic Drive-In stall. Sonic Drive-In should not put car chargers attached to their stalls. And I will explain why in that video. At least in my humble opinion. Okay, that's about all. Do you own a business? And if you do, have you installed car chargers? And am I right or am I wrong that it would be worth it to get the customers on your property? That's the thing. You get the customers on your property and then you try to separate them from their money. That's the goal of any commercial enterprise. You try to separate the customer from their money. That's the whole game. All right, you have a good day. Thanks for watching. Bye. But what if they seen something they wanted? What if they didn't know they wanted a new car? Especially the way people trade nowadays. I have a friend of mine that at one time would never buy used, ever. I think he's starting to come around now. And he was actually the best man at my wedding, 1991. That's how long I've known him. I think he's starting to change his attitude, maybe. But for sure, 100% for sure, before, he thought people only traded cars in if there was a problem with them. It took me a while, I think, to convince him that people trade now just because they want to. And he probably saw how much I trade. He's always giving me the business, as Beaver used to say. I'll leave it to Beaver. He's always giving me the business over how often I trade cars. But anyway, people trade now because they want to, not because the car's tore up many times. But now I'm getting off subject, but